Welcome back, episode number 16.
No, it's 17.
Thoughts podcast at 16.
16's out, though.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. 16
is Emma the Asshole.
Oh. I guess we're on episode 17. It didn't show up in the right order on my phone, dude, okay?
Disappointed in you.
Deal with it. What do we have today, boys? Daniel, anything? You look like you've got something to talk about. Nothing?
I like Isaac's comment where he said, why do kids love mixing random shit into potions?
But I feel like that's something that, like, every person's done as a kid.
Yeah, I did it.
Just mix a bunch of random shit up, shake it, smell it, squirt it out, see what it looks like.
I wasn't like that with, like, random shit around the house. Mine was, like, outside stuff, so it'd be, like, water and dirt and leaves.
Like, so you were making, like, real potions.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really do that other than, like, at a restaurant when I was done. I had a little bit of soda left.
Ew.
And, like, some water because the ice melted. And I would add, like, my leftover ketchup and, like, a fry.
That's nasty.
And I would mix it around in the cup and then leave. But I wouldn't, like, play with it.
I just did mine with, like, shampoo and soap.
Shampoo and soap?
Yeah. Like, I don't know, just mix everything you can, shake it up, make a new concoction.
You should do, what is it to make mustard gas? Bleach and...
chlorine?
I think something like that, yeah. Could you imagine doing that? Like, accidentally making mustard gas and killing yourself? Because you wanted to have fun by mixing a potion?
It actually, like, probably almost happened to me. Like, I was super close to grabbing the wrong bottle underneath the sink.
Oh, that would be wild.
I think that was an episode on 1,000 Ways to Die.
Oh, I'm sure there was.
Because they mixed all that stuff and then were cleaning their bathroom.
That show is so stupid.
I loved it. There was one. This one, like, lives with me forever in my head. She had, like, just recently got a boob job, and she went on one of those machines, like, it's like this, and then you tilt backwards, and then you sit upside down to, like, stretch, and she suffocated because her boobs, like, went over her face.
The one that stands out to me, there was this Indian girl belly dancing, and she, like, lifted up her scarf, and she had her ceiling fan going.
Oh, I remember that
and
one.
somehow she managed to get the scarf up on the fan, but not have it hit her hand or anything, and then it slowly spun and then choked her. That show was wild.
That show scared me. It made it seem like just living life was so dangerous. Like at any moment you could just die.
I think we talked about this before, but same with, like, in school, how they always taught you stop, drop, and roll. Like,
yeah, they made it seem like life was a lot more dangerous.
I thought I would be on fire more often than I have been.
Yeah, I thought I'd be on fire at least once by now.
Right. Oh, man. Speaking of school, I remembered this the other day, and I don't think you've ever heard the story.
I don't think I have.
My old art teacher in high school, I believe it was senior year. Yeah, it was senior year. Was very worried about me because I was just quiet and did my own thing, you know. You know how I dress too. I wear all black. So she always thought that I was super depressed and that I was going to kill myself. And then she started a rumor that I was going to shoot up the school.
She started it?
Yeah. Yeah, she went to one of my friends and was like, oh, yeah, I'm really concerned that he's going to shoot up the school. And, like, she was telling other teachers, and then I got called into the principal's office, and they're like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, why?" And then they explained the whole situation. I was like, "No, she's a stupid bitch. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Why would I do that? If I was going to do it, I would have done it already."
That's a good point.
Like, senior year of high school.
That's the time to do it.
I don't think so. So yeah, Miss Brooks, if you're listening, fuck you. Not a fan. And your drawings are horrible. She was an art teacher.
Wasn't any good though.
Nah, she was shit. She was old and she had the shaky hands. So she'd be like, "Alright, we gotta practice drawing our straight lines." It's like, you can't even draw a straight line. What do I gotta practice for? So yeah, not a fan of her. Should I buy a domain for the podcast?
I think you should.
We have a bunch of options though.
I know, that's the thing. I don't know which one we should go with.
Because we could go with like a generic .com, but that's not fun. But it's also cheap. But then we could do something like .gg or .io or .ai or .pizza. That's a real thing.
I kind of like .pizza.
Yeah, it's $60 a year.
Oh. How much is like a .com?
$12 a year.
That's a big difference.
Yeah. But also the way that domains are made is kind of interesting. You know, like Twitch, how it's .tv.
Yeah.
Do you know what TV stands for?
Television?
No. Tuvalu.
Tuvalu?
Yeah, like the country.
Huh.
They do it based off of like places of economic growth or something like that.
Like economic zones?
Something like that, yeah. So .tv brings in a lot of money for Tuvalu because of Twitch. Or like .io. You'd think it's some like technical like in-out or something like that.
Right.
Indian Ocean.
That's all it means?
Yeah. The Indian Ocean is apparently a point of economic interest.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Cold.
You want to hear a story about the time I peed on a kid's hoodie and then burned it?
No.
Was it a kid that you knew or a random kid?
I knew him. I didn't like him. No one liked him. He kind of got bullied a lot. You know, it is what it is. But there was one day that he rode his bike past my friend's house, and I was there. And he stopped and like wanted to hang out with us. And then I don't remember what happened. His mom called him or something. He had to go back home, and he left his hoodie like on the mailbox. So he rode his bike back home, left his hoodie there. So I took it, and I dug a hole, and I peed on it, and I burned it.
How old were you when you did that?
How old are you in like 8th grade? It was like right around 8th grade.
13?
Yeah, something like that.
Just saw an opportunity and took it.
Yeah, he wasn't very happy about it.
Did he ever find out it was you?
Yeah, he was more upset that I peed on it than I burned it.
Did you tell him that you peed on it?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's like, "Where's my hoodie?" I was like, "Right there." You know, show him the ashes. He's like, What happened?" I was like, "I pissed on it and burned it, dude." I wasn't a very nice kid.
I don't think I ever did that to anyone.
I started a rumor about my friend in 5th grade because she lived across the street from me, and we were really close, and we didn't go to the same school. And then in 5th grade, she transferred to my school, and then she got really close with one of my best friends. So I was really jealous of them. So I started a rumor that she was a lesbian. And then my teacher had to pull me aside because I was bullying her.
How old were you?
We were in 5th grade.
And you just decided that you wanted to
You just decided you want to piss on someone's sweatshirt?
Yeah, I didn't like the kid. He was a loser. He would always try to start stuff with everyone. Gotta put him in his place somehow, you know?
Yeah.
Isaac, you have a couple in here.
None of them are good though. I feel like when I sent some of those, I thought that they were like it,
No, but like
they're not it.
the one about the crimes. What crime would you harshen or lessen the penalty for?
I had a really good one, but I can't remember what it was. No.
I have a really good one. One that I would harshen it for is any sort of like pedophilia, because they get like max 10 years and then like registration of a sex offender. That doesn't do shit.
Do you know who Dennis Hassard is?
No.
He used to be the Speaker of the House.
Okay.
Like when Bush or Clinton was president, he got 10 months for touching little boys.
Well, he also had money.
Yeah, but still.
Right, and that
10
should be
months.
immediate death. And then one that I would lessen it for is piracy. And any sort of like online activist sort of a thing. People get life for stupid shit.
Yeah.
For exposing people. Who cares? At least I didn't touch a child.
I think for the pedophilia one, it gets longer if you like do it again.
But should those people really be getting multiple
They shouldn't be given a
chances?
second chance.
True. Because I don't think it's one of those things that changes. Like, you're not going to stop.
Right, and I think it's definitely circumstantial. Is that the right word?
Circumcise.
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely based on the circumcision.
Obviously.
Well, because if it's like an 18-year-old and a 17-year-old and they're dating and they have sex.
That's not the same as
Right, like,
other things.
you know, maybe let that slide or give them a little slap on the wrist. But if it's like the stuff on Chris Hansen, 37-year-old dude trying to bang a 12-year-old, that's fucked up.
So there's a situation that, like, I know of that, like, someone did or whatever. And so back in Michigan, a guy had put his iPhone, like, in camera mode, and he put it in, like, a dancing studio, like, changing room. And then they found it, and he got caught, because I obviously can track who the phone was for. He only got 4 years.
He should get death.
And then he got out. And then he had a wife and 2 kids, 1 boy and 1 girl. And then he reoffended with his own kid. And then I think he got like 10 years or something like that.
That's still not long enough.
No, death.
Isn't that one of those things where if you go to prison for it and all that, like, if the inmates find out, like, that's the one thing that they don't tolerate and they just kill you?
If word gets out that that's what you did. And I think that,
Potential death.
yeah, but I think it should be certain death. And I don't think it should be a nice death penalty either. I think that they should move all the tables from general population and then just have all the inmates circled around just beating them. And why do, like on Chris Hansen and everything, well, it's something that I've noticed. It's always guys going after children, but they always want to stay like anonymous about it, you know? That's why they all do it online.
It's all old men.
But then when women do it, it's always like the teacher situation.
Yeah.
Why?
It's like the 24-year-old teacher with the 16-year-old boy.
Yeah. Weird. All teachers are perverts, basically.
Yeah.
Drop out of school.
I know.
Except for Isaac's teacher.
Yeah, that's right.
His teacher was God. Amen.
And harshen the penalty for like animal abuse.
Yeah,
That's how serial killers start.
True.
That seems to be like all the time is they start with the animals.
Or I just had one. There's a country, or maybe it's like Australia.
Is it
or-
Tuvalu?
Europe or somewhere just passed a law where if so if you are driving and you kill, like, if there's a family in the car and you kill the parents but like the kid survives, like, you're responsible to pay the child support.
You gotta adopt them.
Well, I think, like, obviously while you're in jail, like, you're also responsible for paying the child support of the kid because you killed their parents.
I would say that that's fair, but I think that it doesn't go until they turn 18.
Child support, yeah.
Good. I'd say that's fair.
Yeah,
You got to
that's
pay
not
for the
that
child
bad.
support, the education. You have to basically take care of them without being there to take care
Yeah.
of them.
It would be kind of funny if you had to adopt them, though.
It would be. Yeah, so sorry about a couple years ago, but
Hey.
I'm your dad now.
I kind of like your dad's thought, like, if you kill someone, like, you have to be killed in the same way.
Yeah,
I kind of like that. Yeah.
that would be sick. Unless it's like an accident.
Yeah, it
Like
wouldn't be
what?
fun then.
Well,
like car accident, or like, oh shoot, I accidentally set fire to you, my bad.
no, like if you accidentally kill someone, like that football player. If he would have died, you can't hold the other football player accountable and kill him.
No.
Right, but yeah, if it's like some serial killer murderer thing, then they should be killed the same way. Maybe a little bit harsher.
If you're drunk driving in a car and you kill a family in a car accident, you have to be forced to sit in the car while another car drives at you and kills you.
I
If it
think we
doesn't kill you,
should-
run it again.
I think that it should be like, because you can't guarantee that they're gonna die.
Again, run it over.
Well, I was just gonna say a train,
Oh,
Oh,
true.
make sure
Park
Just-
a
just
car
to-
on,
it's done.
on the train tracks.
like a guaranteed dunzo, you know?
I think we should bring back, like, cruel punishments
Yeah.
for certain crimes.
beheading.
For all crimes.
We can do all crimes, too. Why not?
You were speeding, death penalty.
Like
What do you mean?
what? Like what? Like
Mm,
would you bring back, or what would you use, or like introduce as a new way?
Torture.
I like the idea of, like, just shooting them into space.
That'd be so expensive.
But
That's why you say you load them all onto a giant rocket.
True.
And
But also-
do it at once.
like going back to what Danielle said about what my dad said, killing them, how they killed other people.
Then
It
you
would-
know it works.
Well, yes, but also it would make more jobs. Because now someone like Jeffrey Dahmer can still get off on killing people, but now he's getting paid, and then maybe it wouldn't have led him to be...
Right. Imagine
Use
all
prisoners.
the opportunities. it would create.
I don't know about using prisoners necessarily, but...
If there are people in prison for killing people, use them, because then you only have to pay them like 10 cents an hour.
But if they're in prison for killing someone, they would be killed the same way that they killed someone.
But then you don't have to create jobs.
But I would sign up for that.
I would feel guilty if I had to.
I think it would be really cool.
What if they did it like
To be the train conductor?
a jury thing though, where they just pick people at random?
That wouldn't work.
That would suck.
Because then someone like you is going to do it, and then you're going to feel really bad about it, and you're going to live with guilt, and then you're going to end up killing yourself. They deserved it. If you were a burglar and only stole things to slightly inconvenience your victims, what are you stealing? I want to throw something else on there. You don't necessarily have to steal something, but you have to do something to inconvenience them.
One of each pair of socks. So they only have one sock.
So, like, the left... Like, you would take all of the left socks?
I don't know. I would look at all their socks and I would just take one of every pair.
I'm taking the toothpaste cap. And I'm also just taking, like, some forks and knives and shit. So I'm taking, like, half their knives.
I got a good one. I'm taking
Toilet paper, all their toilet paper.
I'm taking the spinning plate in their microwave.
Oh, that's such a good one.
But also something I would do to inconvenience them is that like once a week I would just shift everything over to like the left or the right, just like an inch every week.
Just like slowly mess with them.
Yeah. They could be anything.
I was just thinking you can put Vaseline on all their doorknobs, but that's not stealing anything.
No, but just you could
all
also.
the TV remotes.
How about all the batteries from the TV?
Oh yeah, all the
remotes?
batteries.
But it could also be something that you do just to inconvenience them, like putting Vaseline on, or like a light bulb from each of their
Unscrewing all the
light.
light bulbs.
Why unscrew it if
Oh,
you
I
could just take it?
one.
Unplug their fridge.
True.
Leave their tap running just enough to where it just constantly drips.
What else?
She's just looking around the house. She's like, what would inconvenience me?
Well, if there's a way to just get the little flippy switch off of the light switches.
I mean, you just break it off.
Yeah, I would take those. Try turning your lights on now.
Or
else?
what if you just remove the cover and the switch and then just put a empty faceplate on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
Make them work for it. I would change the lock to their houses, but then I would leave them the keys. So every time they have to undo their key ring and put the new one back on.
This is kind of making me actually want to start doing this stuff.
I was gonna commit petty crimes. Or steal like the middle section of their bread loaf and only leave them with the butt.
The two ends. Oh, you know what would inconvenience your dad is changing the. Because what does he use? I think he uses Alexa. Change it to like Amazon, or the.
Oh,
or
like the
Echo.
actual trigger name?
Yeah, change the name. He would just be yelling.
If they have wired headphones, snip one of them. Would you have a threesome with Jesus Christ if he asked you nicely?
See that? Who's the third in that? Or would it be a foursome? Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Well, I think the son would be excluded because that would be pedophilia.
That's a good point.
I don't think you can fuck spirits.
I mean, maybe you can. There's people like being taken over by the Holy Spirit in the Bible. Maybe that's what they were talking about.
Would you do it? Just
I feel like I have to. I couldn't say no to Jesus.
It depends on what he looks like.
Just your stereotypical.
Korean Jesus.
Yeah, it depends on who my third is.
It
Or
would,
if
be like us.
Oh. I'd probably say yes.
I would have to say no because I don't want him to look at my wiener. Although he knows how small it
Yeah,
is because he
so-
made it.
He's
So
kind of
already
he's
knows.
already seen it.
maybe he could bless me. He'd be like,
I'd be
"Damn, that's
blessed.
it."
Maybe he'd like take pity on you. Like,
Yeah.
I'll help you out, buddy. Here you go.
Shit, you know what? Throw him in the ring. Oh, so you know Dungeons and Dragons, right? I think we
I've
come
never
up.
played it. but
That's fine. I haven't
I know
either.
what it is.
I think we come up with a new parody board game. It's called Basements and Virgins. And the whole like gist of the game, because you know how like Dungeons and Dragons, it's kind of like it's a role-playing game of you going through doing your adventure.
You're right.
It would be the same thing, except the adventure is leaving your basement and losing your virginity.
I like that idea.
Ew.
I don't know how we come up with a board game, but
I don't know, but that's a pretty good idea.
Be like a scavenger hunt.
yeah. And I picture the art already. It's like a square box with a line splitting it in half diagonally, and the bottom is black and the top is pink. And then it's basements, and half of that is pink on the black side and black on the pink side, and the little and sign, and that's split in half, and then virgins with like a cat in the corner.
I like it. We need
It's
to
a
get
parody
on that.
game. It doesn't need to look good.
Terry Tees needs to start a gaming division.
Day Plays Media.
We already have a gaming division. Forgot about that.
Well, Day Plays Media owns everything.
I thought it was a partnership with Terry Tees.
Well, it's more of a dictatorship now.
Hostile takeover.
Yeah, except you didn't put up a fight. Ooh. Would you rather touch wet food in a sink or step in something wet with a sock on?
Wet food.
Which one would I rather do?
Wet food in the
I'd
sink. I
rather-
just rinse it off or I go,
Yeah, I feel like the wet sock, that one lasts longer.
yeah.
I'd
Messes
rather do
up
the
your-
wet sock.
I feel like your day's
You're-
messed
you-
up
yeah.
for like an hour after that.
But it doesn't say that you have to keep wearing the sock. You just rip it off right
Even
away.
even if you change socks right away though. I feel
But
like
the
that
wet food
sticks.
thing, that makes me want to throw up.
That's
Yeah,
like
but
one
it's
single
yucky.
second. Like as soon as
Yeah.
your finger touches it, like you're out of
Like,
there.
yucky, pull your hand away.
Then I
then
can
it's
like
over.
wash my hands and I'm done.
But what's wrong? Like, I understand wet socks are gross. I get that. But it doesn't need to be soaked. You just step in a little, like...
It still feels yucky.
Yeah.
I still don't like it.
Like my sock got wet at work the other day and it was not great.
Did you go next door and grab a new pack of socks?
No. I almost should have though. It was icky.
I would.
Even no,
Wet
because
sock.
sometimes some of my tennis shoes aren't like breathable, and I wear them to work. So after I get out of work and I come home, my socks are like soaking wet from sweat, obviously, and I have to like take them off right away. But just the way that, just the way that makes my feet feel, it's gross. Ugh.
Did you want to talk about your AI lawyer?
No, because I need to do more research. Because
Okay.
I found it on Twitter, and then I was like, oh shit, that looks super cool. Then I didn't look into it anymore. But the idea of it is that in the courtroom, you have like a microphone. So the AI is listening to the judge and the jury and everything. And then the AI tells the lawyer what to say. And then he's supposed to just say whatever the AI says.
I don't think the jury says anything in a courtroom. They just listen.
Oh, I meant like the other lawyers, I guess.
The plaintiffs and the defendants?
Prosecutors or the DAs.
That
or
sounds like a
whatever.
very bad idea.
That's what I like. Imagine
I don't
if
know.
that became like more mainstream. Like imagine if like
But
you
why?
were like,
Then they're
oh
not
shit,
opinionated.
that guy has an AI lawyer. He's not gonna lose. He's got the best
True.
AI lawyer they have.
Because my thing is that if this lawyer is reading the script essentially that this AI is generating, when I ask AI a question, you have to be very specific and thorough about how you ask it to get an answer. Otherwise, it goes, "Sorry, I don't understand." What if that's all that this lawyer is saying? Sorry, could you repeat that? I don't get it. Could you dumb it down a little bit for me?
Could you phrase that in a different way?
And AI is very confident and confidently wrong. So this lawyer is going to be speaking all confidently about something and have the wrong information.
Or what if instead of like listening to it, they just because there's that like usually a lady who like types all of the conversation.
The transcriptor?
Yeah. What if they just like pull that and then put that into the AI?
Maybe
Well,
that's what they're doing. I don't know. I didn't
Either
look
way,
into it that much.
wouldn't it still need like an on the spot? Because that lady's typing the whole time. It's not like she's typing and she's like, all right, let me feed this to the AI real quick.
Yeah, you might.
And
I'm
then waits.
I'm thinking more in my brain of instead of a jury, maybe Like, if they plugged in all of the information, and then the AI was like, oh, they're guilty or they're not guilty. Because then they have all of, like, the laws and stuff.
Having the AI be, like, the judge.
Yeah.
That's even scarier.
That would have to be built very specifically by the state and by the counties, because each law is different everywhere.
That would be kind of cool, though. You can just, like, throw in all the evidence.
Yeah, but it's going to hear that you murdered someone. But what if you didn't do it and it's a false trial? But now you're convicted because the AI is just assuming that you did it because you're being tried for it.
Isn't AI, like, kind of racist, too? Or, like, biased?
Yes and no.
With some things?
Based on who made it and what they trained it off of.
Gotcha.
So, like, Chat GPT was only trained up to 2021. So you can't ask it anything current. And it only knows whatever they put into it.
At the time that they made it?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. I don't understand AI, really.
I don't understand any of it, but I like it. I think it's very cool.
I know I like playing with it.
Yeah, I really like this script that I came up with for this.
Yeah.
That was
No
really
thought is
good.
too random. Danielle, you had one about Hannah Montana. Let's hear it.
I did not think that Hannah Montana concerts were real. I thought that they were just part of the show and that was it. I didn't really know that you could actually go to a Hannah Montana concert.
She literally toured and sold tickets around probably the world.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just, like, part of the show. But I also never watched the show.
But she still toured and had
That's
concerts.
part of the show.
No! They sold real tickets to real children.
I didn't know that. I guess it'd be the same situation as like the Cheetah Girls, because they had a show, but then also did that.
Exactly.
I just didn't know because Hannah Montana wasn't really like a real person. Because I was like, all these kids are thinking it's actually Hannah Montana, but then they're watching this show, and then they're realizing that Hannah Montana isn't actually real. It's Miley Cyrus. So I'm like, I'd feel like I'd be scammed if I went to a Hannah Montana concert.
But it was still like real music that she sang.
Yeah.
That's like if John Denver had a TV show where he played John Denver and sang music and then went.
But Miley Cyrus
concert.
didn't play Miley Cyrus. She played Miley whatever. It was like, I don't remember what their last name was in the show.
I don't know.
Don't know. I never watched that show.
First impressions of each other. Isaac, you can go first.
I go first.
Damon smelled bad.
Okay, it
When I
was
first met him.
100 degrees outside and I was very sweaty. So yeah, I did.
My first impression of you was you just seemed angry. But, like, now I know that's just, like, how you are when you're at your job. At a miserable job that you don't want to be at.
But who isn't though?
True.
I thought Isaac hated me. Because you have that same face at work.
Resting bitch face,
Uh-huh.
kinda. Yeah.
And then you would always, like when you started sitting at the table with us, you would never talk. Or you would only talk to Andy.
Pretty Andy or Adam, yeah.
And then you mentioned something about The Office, and Andy was like, oh, he likes The Office. And you were like, you should follow me on Twitter. I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. But yeah, best friends ever since.
That's right. I remember what my first impression of Danielle was.
Let's hear it.
So, well, first, I don't think we should say it on the podcast, but do you remember the first time that we, like, hung out outside of work?
Yeah, we ran over by Mitch.
Yeah, Mitch's place. But I think it was we had gotten back from that, gotten back to your apartment, Danielle was like unloading groceries or something from her car, you were like, "Oh, what's up? This is Isaac, the ginger." And then she just like looked at me for a second and was like, "Ew," and then went back to what she was doing.
That sounds about right.
And I was like, "Damn, she gives like no fucks."
That's always like my go-to expression.
Yeah, she does that.
Even at work.
That
I'll like
face.
say it out loud.
Can you do it? Yeah, that one. That's the look you got.
Like when I'm at work, someone will say something to me and I'll just be like, "Ew." I didn't even realize that I like said it. Like someone said something to me a couple of weeks ago. They're talking about like their son and I don't know. She's getting like some product for him, and she was talking about something, and I just went, "Ew." I was like, "Oh wait, I'm so sorry." And she goes, "No, you're right." I don't remember the first time I met Isaac, honestly.
The first time you like really met him and hung out was when his car broke last year.
Yeah,
Remember when we had a sleepover?
Oh yeah. Oof, his feet.
Yeah, you did show us your toes.
Did I actually?
Yeah.
I don't remember doing that.
You took a shower
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Thanks.
and you were like, my feet are all fucked up. You want to see?
Traumatized.
And I was like, I don't know. And you're like,
That sounds like me.
yeah.
Ew.
Daniel, you had a couple on here. You want to read them? Towards the end of the thread.
Ew.
You what?
Oh my gosh. I went to Target yesterday to make returns, and the girl that was like at the service desk, she was just like, ugh, I hated her. She was younger than me. She probably had to have been like 18 or 19. And every time she said something, she'd go, "Yeah."
Ew.
After everything, I was like, "Hi, I need to make some returns. Like, I got these as gifts, but I don't have the receipt for them. But I think they said they got them from here." And she goes, "Okay." And I was like, "Okay." And she's like, "Oh, these are cute. Yeah." Because it was like a coloring book and like that egg maker I was trying to return, but I didn't know where that came from. And she goes, "Oh, I know Dash. They make a ton of stuff. Like all those cute like waffle makers. Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, but this makes eggs, not waffles." I was like, "I figured it was from here, but I don't really know." And she goes, "Yeah, I can try. Yeah." I was like, "Can you just figure it out, please?" And then she's like, "Yeah, 2 of these things aren't actually from here. Yeah. So what do you want me to do?" And I was like, "Give them back. Just give them back to me is fine."
Can you process the return anyway?
Right.
That reminds me. When I worked at Meijer, I was in the dairy section, and Kroger is a Kroger / Pick and Save brand, right?
Yeah.
Meijer doesn't sell that. Someone managed to return Kroger milk to Meijer. How? That's not even in the system. Sorry, I just thought about that.
That's what happened to me yesterday. I went to Meijer, and I was doing a return because I was trying to figure out where that egg maker was from. Because it wasn't at Target, yeah. So I went to Meijer, and the girl was like, "Oh yeah, we sell these." And I was like, "Perfect," because I have no idea where it's from. And this is like a no receipt or whatever. And she's like, "Okay." And then, so like at Meijer, like when I worked there at the service desk, if you scan it and it says no UPC or whatever, that just means they don't sell it.
Yeah.
And like you can't return it. And she's like, "No, I swear we sell these." And I was like, "Okay, but like if it doesn't work, I'll find somewhere else." And so she literally went and got a waffle maker and then just returned the waffle maker and then gave me the credit for it instead of the egg maker.
Sounds about right.
So yeah, that was my story.
You have a couple others on here too.
I didn't even look. I was so thrown back by that girl. Oh, so I was at work, and this lady, she comes in all the time, and every time she comes in, she goes, "You look really familiar to me. Did you ever used to sell Tupperware?"
Oh.
And I was like, "No, because I'm only 24." And that was definitely a thing in the 70s. And she goes, "No, I swear you used to sell Tupperware with me." And I said, "Absolutely not. I was born late 90s, not 70s, thank you." But every time she comes in, she's so consistent that I sold Tupperware with her. But then I was thinking about it at work the other day, and I was talking about it with some of my associates. And I was just like, I feel like Tupperware was like tier 1 pyramid scheme. Like, it had to have been the first pyramid scheme to like ever come to light. And then all of a sudden, all these other ones under it just started popping up. Like, you got, it was that LuLaRoe or whatever. It was like all these like clothes, like dresses and leggings and stuff. And then there's a bunch of jewelry ones and like health and fitness ones.
And sex toys.
Yeah. I asked whoever I worked with yesterday about that, and I said, haven't you ever heard of the sex toy one? She's like, "No, I've never heard of that."
She's like, "But I'm interested."
How do I host one of those parties? What else? There was like jewelry. Oh, the nail stickers. That was one.
There's a cleaning one.
I think so.
A few different cleaning ones, yeah.
I feel like QVC is kind of also a giant pyramid scheme.
Think so?
Yeah. I don't know, there's just something about them. Maybe not a pyramid scheme, but they're definitely a scam. How are they not? How are you going to sell this $150 set of whatever for $12.99 plus shipping and handling? That shit is coming straight out of a factory in China, and it is not the brand that you were saying that it is, or the quality. Tell me I'm wrong. And I blame Lori from Shark Tank.
She's behind it all.
She is?
It's all
She's the
her
face
fault.
of, you're the, what is it, Queen of QVC?
Yeah.
She's a scammer.
There was another one I was just thinking about. Oh, what's that called? It's like a clothing brand where it's all like really, really cheap. Not Wish. It's kind of like the same
Kanye?
concept. What?
Shine?
No. Yeah. Like that, like Shine, whatever it is.
That's
Where
the same
everything
thing?
is like $5.
I thought that was a website that like Kim Kardashian owns or something.
No, it's just like cheap overseas clothes.
Is it
It's like
really?
Wish, but for clothes.
Yeah, Wish for clothes, pretty much.
I thought it was like some high designer brand.
No.
Like, damn, they
No.
played me because I fell for it. I'm gonna have to look into that. I love buying shit from Wish. Any of those online stores, like the knockoff ones,
Wish has some really good ones.
and some real bad ones. Would you go back 10 years, keeping all of the memories and knowledge that you have now, and restart your life from there?
I had a question about that one. Wouldn't that create like two different timelines?
Yes and no.
Yeah, it would.
Because if you go back 10 years now, you're going to have,
And you have all those
memories of
memories?
the last 10 years of you like getting married
You're gonna
and shit.
change what you did.
So
Or
you
you have to
going
try to stay the same.
back, you're going to have the memories of living to that age and then going back.
So like
Yeah, but it gives you it gives you two options. One, you can just relive it and tweak like a couple of little things here and there. Or you can go the other direction and do something extreme and potentially ruin or make the rest of your life.
But then you're going to be like, did this happen in timeline A or timeline B?
I feel like it
Was this like, did this happen with my first wife or my second wife?
But you would also remember, like, oh yeah, Danielle and I did this.
But at a certain
Well,
point, I feel
but-
like they're going to blend together.
So like my thing, if I went back 10 years, then I know I'm gonna end up with John. So I could either just cut that completely out of my life, like that 3 years, but then never meet you. You know? If I didn't meet John, then I'd never met the Hundermans, and then I would have never met you. And that would change their lives.
Also, do you go back with your memories, but do you have 14-year-old brain, 15-year-old brain?
No, I'm where I am now, but in 14-year-old me.
So you just get the body.
I don't know. There's a lot of
You keep all the knowledge and memories.
I don't think I
I don't
would.
know.
I'm throwing $30 into Bitcoin. And then I'll continue the rest of my life how I did. Maybe even do better in school, perhaps.
I don't know. Because if I went back to 14, then my dad wouldn't have had his strokes yet. So I could potentially, change that to make it so that he probably still would, but it would have been caught sooner.
Mm-hmm.
So it would change, his whole life. Maybe I would.
See? It's worth it.
I don't think I
Potentially.
would.
No?
I think it'd end up worse for me somehow.
Just throw $30 into Bitcoin, you'll be set for life.
I'd fuck it up somehow, though. I don't trust myself like that.
That pissed me off. Dad, I'm calling you out. I told him when I was 13, what's freshman year? 14?
14, 15.
Yeah, so I was 14. Freshman year is not 15. Freshmen are not getting their learner's permit to drive to school.
Oh, yeah. It's probably 14 then.
Probably 13 to 14. Because 8th grade is 12, 13. Either way.
No, I don't remember.
I told my dad to put money into Bitcoin because it would be big one day. And he said, no, that's stupid. It's a scam, blah, blah, blah. $30 could have gone a long way, Kevin. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Should have listened to me. And worse that happens, you only threw away $30. You know, the guys who bought the Domino's pizza for 700 Bitcoin,
Yeah.
they probably regret that shit.
Yeah.
You have another one on here, Danielle. You want to read it?
I don't know. I feel like I'm about to poop my pants.
We're almost done. We got 10 minutes left.
Oh, I gotta.
All right, well, we're going to read some today I fucked up then on Reddit. Oh, man, these are all so long. Do you know how to read?
I don't.
Fuck. We're going to have to wait for Danielle to get back. However, I would like to call out FedEx for being bitches.
Yeah, fuck FedEx.
I had my headphones, the Pixel Buds Pro. One of them broke, so I sent it in for RMA. And they sent out replacement headphones. They were supposed to be here yesterday. Got delayed till today. And now it's delayed again today. Still expected to come out, but it still says that it's in transit.
So it's not supposed to get here today?
It still says that it's expected to be here today.
But it says it's delayed too?
Yeah. And FedEx called me this morning to verify my address. And if I don't have them by the next, I'm going to say 3 hours. So by 2:30, I'm going to call them. I don't give a fuck if they have to deliver it in their personal vehicle. I should have had them yesterday. Granted, I didn't pay for the shipping. I didn't pay for anything.
But you still should have them.
You told me they were going to be here today, and why are they delayed? It doesn't give me a reason. It just says delayed. If my mailman got shot, then fine, I can respect that.
That's a little understandable, yeah.
But still, customers first.
Right? You gotta hold them to their word.
Oh, I will. Who did we miss any shout-outs for the people on Call of Duty? I know we shouted out Blazin. He's the only one that I remember.
Moses.
Yeah, shouts out to you dudes.
There was another dude. There was a dude. Wait, was it Blazin? The dude right after the dude that was super pissed off at us.
Yeah, that was Blazin.
That was Blazin.
From Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, shouts out to you. Man, I wish that's one thing that Call of Duty needs to do is fix the recently played with, because I would have liked to add him and play with him more.
Yeah,
He was super chill.
He was such a chill guy.
And he doesn't really listen to podcasts. He said ours would be the first one that he would listen to.
Yeah, we could have taken his podcast virginity.
Yeah. Hopefully we did.
Hopefully.
So my sister's birthday was last week. Last week today. And I did a little bit of networking. Shouts out Donald if you're listening. If you're not, I'm sorry.
Shame on you, Donald.
You're missing out on a good time. But yeah, we went axe throwing. That was fun.
I've never done that.
They have, it's like a dartboard, you know?
Right.
And then the place that we went to had two smaller dots too. They were probably like, maybe, I don't know. It wasn't very big. Maybe like maximum the size of the top of the soda can, spray painted on there. And you know, it's all like points, so the outside ring is 1 point, 2 point, 3, 4, and then bullseye is 5, and I think those were 10, the two little dots. And my sister's boyfriend was trying to go for it, and he kept getting real close multiple times. And then, so my family, I don't want to say we're competitive, but we like to put people in their place.
Just kind of show them what you got.
Yeah, show them who's boss.
Right.
And so we had 2 lanes. My sister's boyfriend is up there for like 45 minutes just trying to hit it. So we're all taking turns on this other one. My dad hits it, and then Danielle hits it, and then my sister's friend Donald hits it, and my dad's girlfriend hits it, and then Danielle hits it, and then I hit it, all before he did. So within that like 30-minute span, or like 30 to 45-minute span of him trying to do it, we all got it.
Everyone else got it?
And then he eventually did end up getting it, but it took him
A lot longer than everyone else.
it was great. Yeah.
I feel like we got to do some more networking, though.
You got any ideas on how?
I don't think so. I was doing or promoting it on Tinder for a while.
Were you?
I don't know if you thought I was actually going to do it, but I did.
Good.
I just sent the link tree to like anyone that I matched with.
I think you should put it in your bio. Just put
I should.
co-host on, and then just put the link tree.
I mean, I don't know for sure, but I feel like it was kind of working.
I also, it's very expensive, but
Buy a billboard.
no.
Damn it.
Do you know how many billboards I drive past, like going from here to Michigan?
Quite a few.
Do you know how many I've stopped and looked at, or been like, man, I should check that out?
At least 10.
I'm gonna say maybe 3, and one of them was like, I forget exactly what it was, but it was like joeschmokills.com. And I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And then it was like some anti-abortion thing.
Yeah, those I always like stopping at those ones. I've seen some weird ones up in Michigan.
Yeah, they've got in Chicago. Like there's a stretch between Chicago and Indiana where it's just like 2.5, 3 miles of just billboards on this straight stretch. One of them is Tom Brady for the hair growth. Tom Brady? I think it's Tom Brady. I don't know sports.
Does Tom Brady do hair growth serum? I don't know.
But yeah, it's for like Bosley or something like that. Otherwise, the Albanese gummies. But I like them. I bought them before I saw the billboard.
Didn't really work on you then.
No. I do like the continuous ones though. So there's
The ones that like connect together over a few.
yeah, so like the first one you see it's like America, the next one is Runs On, and the last one is Dunkin', and then after that they have a donut with the Dunkin' logo. Those ones are cool.
Yeah, those ones are nice.
But it still doesn't convince me to go to Dunkin' Donuts.
But imagine how dope it'd be to see us up on a billboard.
Would it be though?
I think it would be.
Are you paying for it?
Depends how much it is.
I mean, I'm sure you could get a real shitty one in a spot that gets zero traffic. Pretty
I mean,
cheap.
there is like an electric one on the way to like a condo walk on 94.
Yeah.
That one, I want to say like the advertisement says it's not that much.
That's also probably for one day.
Yeah, but I'd only buy it for one day.
I was thinking,
Yeah,
what if
what was
we-
your idea? What was the original idea?
what if we got our cars wrapped? So on the side, it was like where it says The Random Thoughts, and then on the hood, it was the logo. And then, like, on the fender, you've seen, like, the shopping lists on, like, the modded cars with all their mods. What if we did that, but with all of our, like, Spotify, YouTube, Snapchat?
How long do the wraps last? Is that forever?
If you take care of them, yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to do that permanently to my car.
No, I mean, you could peel it off whenever you want to.
That would be kind of cool to do for a little bit, though.
I would love that.
Is that stuff expensive?
It's not cheap.
Not cheap.
Let me look up the price of an average car wrap.
That would be pretty sick to have for a little bit.
Obviously prices vary depending on like the size of the car and what you want done, but the average is going to be anywhere between like $2,000 to $3,500.
I'd want to keep that on for a while.
But I know a guy who does car wrapping professionally.
That'd be pretty
I'll hit him up.
sick.
I'll see how much it'll cost to get the logo on the hood of my car.
It'd be cool just to do the logo.
Yeah. Welcome back, Danielle. You have one more for us, and then we can wrap it if you want to. Something about letting parents putting their cards in the machine.
Some cards.
Well, you just ate eggs.
Yeah, it's probably all this dairy. It's fucking me up.
Eggs are a protein.
But I had coffee with milk in it. Or I just, no, because my milk was almond milk.
There's probably cheese on top of your eggs.
Yeah, it was a cheese. And I put milk in the eggs too.
Are you okay?
My
Should we just
stomach
wrap it
hurts.
here?
My stomach hurts.
I mean, we're at 57, so
That's
it's not the
fine.
end of the world.
That's fine.
What's fine?
Ending it.
Okay. Thanks for listening. Episode number 17.
That's right.
The Random Thoughts Podcast. Go join our Discord. And
else?
what else do we have? TikTok?
TikToks, Discords.
Discord.
I think I have a Twitter, but I don't use it.
You made a Twitter?
I made a Twitter for it like in March.
Bro, you gotta tweet out the episodes when they go
I
live.
know, but I don't think I've made a single tweet on that account.
You're about to.
I know, I need to.
Alright, well, we're gonna figure that out. So thanks for listening. You'll hear from me next week, probably.
Hopefully.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Danielle, say bye. Bye.